Hey everybody, Adam Savage, Norm Chan, and Chris Huisman. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Very good to see you.
We are in the cave with some original Star Trek series goodness. Chris, we have covered your work in the past, but tell us what these amazing things are.
These are the old classic original series Klingon D7 Battlecruisers.
Dude, I gotta say, it's so funny because it's easy to think of the original series ships as simplistic because these were some of the earliest gestures towards non-standard ship shapes. But in person, these are really elegant and beautiful designs.
Yeah. There's something very iconic about them and something very menacing at the same time.
Yeah,
that I think is they're wonderful.
Well, let's set the stage because you were here last year. You went from TOMY, and as part of their TOMY Plus program, you guys have put out a couple Enterprise ships in the past. So you did the original series Enterprise. Last year, you showed us the prototype for the refit from the motion picture.
Correct.
And for your third ship in the line, it's the D7.
Yes.
And these are the prototypes.
These are the prototypes, correct.
Are you releasing two D7s, one of each of these? Wow.
So we worked it out with a factory where if once we get our minimum of our goal anyway, the change is so minor that of the paint job, the ship itself is identical in every way in form and function. All they have to do is just rearrange the production floor a little bit and paint one green and gray as opposed to all gray.
So tell us why these two color schemes and how they relate to the production.
So as I understand it, and people may want to correct me, but originally Matt Jeffries had wanted it to be gray and green. He's the one that designed these, and long story short, they ended up going all gray for the production shoot or to film. And what they did was to kind of get the same green and gray effect. They underlit it with green lights.
Whoa!
So that way, so the underside is green like this would be.
Was it painted that way because of their green screen situation?
Some say yes, some say no. So I think back then they used kind of either green screen, blue screen, whatever it was, but some say that the green was like wreaking havoc. They were getting like a blue shift. Long story short, it wasn't working out, so they went all gray.
So this is kind of how we remember it watching the show and what the original Matt Jeffries design was. But if you look at the miniature, this is more representative of that.
Right. And so when it first aired, I mean, not very many people had color TVs yet. But then when they did have color and they saw it, it was a gray ship with green underbelly.
Wow. All right. Wow. These are 1/350th scale, is that right?
Yes.
So they're in scale with the other ship you've put out.
Yep.
And what's like 26
inches long and about 18 inches wide.
How does that compare to what they used for filming?
I think the original filming model was 29 inches long.
Okay. And that still survives somewhere.
There's one that was at, I think it was at some museum in Seattle, Mopop.
Oh, yeah.
But I believe they took that down. I'm not sure where it's at now. And then there's a different miniature that was filmed that was used that is still the Smithsonian somewhere in their archives.
In the basement.
Yeah, somewhere in the basement.
Yeah.
The lighting is always such a special challenge with ships like this, getting lighting to feel like it's in scale, getting the diffusion correct. The lighting on these is so beautiful. The red glow inside the grate. Tell me some of the challenges.
Honestly, this is not, I want to say, an easier one to work on compared to the refit. But one of the things is we wanted to kind of, we wanted to make these for everybody. So the diehard purists, the original filming model didn't have lights at all. And so we've set these up so that way when you go to, like, for example, mode 1, I consider classic mode. And so there's no lights on it whatsoever, but there's still green that shines up from underneath. Mode 2 is a little more like the remastered version, which has more lights that Roddenberry may or may not want to have done, but a lot of people, when they build theirs from whatever kits they have, they do put lights in it. And then mode 3 is a little bit pushed beyond that with a little bit more animated light effects and some other stuff.
I'm always saying on the channel that when I replicate a prop, I'm looking for a certain kind of experience. And we talk a lot on this channel about how difficult it is to make film memorabilia for people because every person has a different intersection and a different experience that they want from that. But it sounds like between the two different ship models and the different lighting modes, TOMY and you guys are really attempting to service most different experiences that people want out of this
Absolutely.
show.
I mean, I say this time and time and again. I'm not making them for me. I'm making them for for them.
Right. You're thinking what they want out of this experience, and you're trying to deliver.
The big challenge when I'm working with like Gary Kerr and Carl Tate, Glenn Swanson, Matt Cushman, we're trying to figure out, okay, we know that some people are going to balk at the lights on it. We get that. So we have to figure out how we're going to make it without lights and make it look just like the filming miniature.
Right.
And so, for example, on here, I'm just going to go through here. So this is basically what the filming miniature would look like. No lights whatsoever. And in fact, the back, this panel here, nobody knows what this really is, but we call it the impulse engine. And also on the nacelles, the green lights and stuff.
Yeah.
And so then when it's actually activated, it actually glows through the plastic.
Yeah, and you're creating logically the world of the Star Trek world where the impulse is wide and fused in that way, so that's logically where it would be.
Right.
But it has all the hallmarks of your TOS ship with your static bright little spotlights.
Right. Yeah, mode 3 will include like just some nacelle animation. Some of the impulse drive will have a little bit going on, and also you'll have like blinking navigational markers.
Yeah.
Just different things that if you wanted to build this and you wanted to make it like a little over the top, you could.
You mentioned 4 names there. Those are your consultants, the Star Trek experts who done the illustrations and built their versions of the model kits to the same scale.
Absolutely priceless people, yeah.
What are the debates that you guys have in terms of what to include, what details, how to even hide things like your mold lines or your panel lines?
You know what? Everything's pretty kosher except for the discussion of what color gray and what color green.
Okay. That was the hardest part.
Because when they restored the filming model, they actually painted it green and gray, but they weren't given exactly what colors to use, and so the model makers, as I understand it, restored it and then painted it kind of what they thought it should be.
Right.
And so what you see like at Mopop, those colors aren't quite right, but people use those as a reference, and so they paint those there.
These feedback loops that just
become the new canon.
And so the gray that you see here is kind of like I call it like, in a weird way, like a Soviet gray and a Soviet green. Like Cold War comblock stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think the gray will be a little bit different. The green will probably stay about the same, but otherwise, what you see here is what you're going to get. A lot of the markings that are on here, we were playing around with this with the gray, and so a lot of these the markings got washed out, so these will be brightened up a little bit.
Okay.
So again, these are prototypes. The end product will be great.
Speaking of prototypes, are the electronics, the cycles of electronics final, or are you guys still tweaking them?
Mode 1 and 2 are pretty much final. Mode 3, we've got it mapped out. They haven't been updated in this yet, and so we're kind of playing around with it.
I'm just picturing an office where someone comes and gets you and is like, come and check out mode 3, and then everyone comes in and applies. They're like, I think you should have this. I think maybe some blinking over here.
There's going to be a big discussion again with my Star Trek guys because everybody's got a slightly different opinion what it should look like. But I mean, it's got everything. It's going to have. If you remember in the motion picture, the Katinga had the weaponized main sensor on the front. The D7 never had that, but in theory, it could have. So what we've done is, I'll just push this button here, and I think the front end you might be able to see where the main sensor lights up. But then when it's in mode 3, it actually kind of like it'll flare up with different, like there's an RGB LED in there, so it'll like flare up in a cool color and then act like it's giving a blast.
It's a little bit of animation almost.
Yeah. I'm also noticing a
shuttle.
Shuttlecraft.
There wasn't a shuttle on the show.
No. So let me tell you about these shuttles. These were actually designed by Matt Cushman as an homage to Matt Jeffries, some of his concept designs for the shuttlecraft. In the end, they ended up going with the shoebox. Easier to build. And so this has some of the hallmarks of his concept, Matt Jeffries' concept design. But then it's also got some of the swept wing of like the bird of prey.
I love that.
Whatever.
Matt Cushman, who Star Trek fans may know, has been doing, and his brother, the cutaway diagrams,
just amazing
and posters,
stuff.
forever.
Yeah. The best thing about this is going to be great. Matt Cushman is actually doing a D7 cutaway poster. It'll be 36 inches by 24. It'll come packed in there, and it's going to be on good quality paper.
At that scale, this will be almost exactly 1-to-1 on your illustration, practically, or even bigger.
Yeah, it'll probably be bigger. But some of this, he's done some rough stuff so far, and it's starting to look really, really good.
So shuttle and the shuttles live in.
Yeah, so the shuttles lived in the hangar bay.
No way!
Shuttle bay.
Oh, there was already one there.
As well.
Yeah. So
dude, look at that.
Yeah.
2 shuttles are coming with each,
Correct.
and there's an even light in here.
Yeah.
Love it.
It'll come with 2 different types of shuttle bay doors. The one that you have is closed because on the original filming model, this was never open.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So in order to be able to see the shuttles, we decided to open it up because you never
I love
saw
it.
a shuttle
Yeah,
bay.
you guys.
So Matt also designed, with the help, I think, with Gary Kerr and Carl Tate, they also designed the interior of the hangar bay.
These are plastic prototypes, right?
Yes.
And at this stage, you get a real sense of your design, the lighting, helps you kind of iterate. How many changes can you make at this point, now that the campaign is running, to the actual construction of this? Because I know, as in product development, these are supposed to be die-cast. There's a lot of things when you go from plastic to metal that can change.
So our engineers have been working with our CAD designers to figure out like wall thicknesses and tolerances and where we're hiding the screws and all kinds of stuff. So what you see here is probably 80% of what you're going to get. We're going to constantly be tweaking this to make it better and better and better.
Yeah. The fans are. Fandom is such a deep and passionate thing. I'm curious how many people you think are going to order one of each.
A lot have.
Really?
Yeah. So we were at Star Trek, Las Vegas. A lot of people came up and they'd come walking by and they're like, "I'm number 284," and be like, "Yeah, thank you." And then some people would be like, be looking at both and like, "I don't know which one to get." And I'm like, if I was a betting man, I'd get both. So a lot of people did.
Wow.
And
More than, were you surprised by the number that ordered both?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think it kind of depends on, a lot of die-cast collectors, collectible collectors, they'll tend to buy more than what they're going to keep.
Right.
Because then they can do some horse trading or, do whatever they want to do.
Right, and often sometimes after a campaign, things can rise in value and change in value.
Right.
Yeah.
So right now, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I think right now they're kind of like a 50-50 split as far as orders go between colors. I do want to mention real quick, it also comes with this Klingon communicator.
Oh, dude.
It's a remote that controls all the lights.
That's
so
nice.
This is actually very obscure reference from the TV show. And so it'll open up. And right now it has Federation sound effects, but I think we're going to change those to make it more
you
like
have
Star
to.
What
Trek.
does the Klingon sound like?
Yeah, I want to have it where you open it up and it's like somebody's like,
Exactly.
like what do you want or whatever. But anyway, there's going to be 5 buttons here that basically mirror these 5 buttons here. So you'll be able to switch from mode to mode and play around with the light effects and stuff.
What really feels like, in your 3rd iteration ship now, you guys have better understanding of what the fans want, right? When the TOS Enterprise ship, right, that was run on batteries. This now is running off of USB, can stay on indefinitely. You have controls on the base here rather than on the ship here, plus now a wireless remote. So you get a real understanding of how people are displaying these. This seems like a companion to that original Enterprise. And is that the idea that you're building ships as part of
They can live together on shelves?
Yes, exactly. So we actually sent out a survey after the end of the refit campaign with a couple of different ships on there based upon our research and interacting with the fans at Star Trek Las Vegas and in the Facebook groups or whatever. We sent out a survey of 3 ships. There's going to choose one of these, the D7, the USS Reliant, or the Enterprise D. And I thought this was going to make my job easy. It came back as like a 3-way tie. And this won out by like barely 2%. So I'm like, you know what? It's a good companion piece to the first one. It's the first enemy ship. Everybody loves the Klingons, so I figured we couldn't go wrong.
All right.
Also, from a detail standpoint, it's a lovely contrast, right? That early design work showed so many different and variegated ships, right? It was just such a wonderful. Aliens made this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And these are limited runs. I know the idea that you're doing campaign and afterward, like the molds even go away.
Correct.
The tooling is gone.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever the run ends up being it'll be it. And so we'll probably destroy the tooling.
All right. Okay. Well, these are D7s. I know the campaign's going on now. There's going to be details, of course, like maybe 2 weeks left or so for this, and when this video comes out. But you were here last year with a prototype, also a plastic model of the refit Enterprise, and that is now more of a real thing now. You've brought the latest version.
Yeah.
Can we take a look at that?
Absolutely, please.
All right, let's go move one of these ships off and take a look at the Enterprise.
So you see the different spotlights pop on.
Oh yes.
And you have these pop on.
Oh,
Dude.
And we have even back here, we have a Raytheon effect going.
What?
Oh, Chris.
Yeah.
This is, well, one, it looks almost exactly like visually like the prototype you brought, right?
Yeah.
The I see all the Aztecing, that iridescent off-axis shine, but this is die-cast. This is production, basically.
This is very close to production.
This is okay. So the factory's doing this Aztec paint job,
Yes.
dude. How?
I don't know. When we first started this, it was a lot of going back and forth and trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
We weren't sure exactly how they're going to do it. Whether it's going to be like big splat like they do like bowls and stuff like that.
The tempo printing, yes.
But the more we went through it, it was like this is not going to work that way. And so in the end, we ended up going basically pizza slice by pizza slice. Hit every tempo.
Oh, that makes total sense because then you can register to these lines and you have less of a registration error prone.
Yeah.
You can correct. Oh my gosh.
That was done by accident because to add the grid lines afterwards by like tempo, it would have put it over cost. And so we actually we molded the lines into it, but that worked to our advantage because now the tempo had a place to stop.
That makes complete sense.
I mean, off-axis, and I'm sure we'll show this in B-roll. It's actually, I can see alternating color patterns. It's more rose gold, more gold, and then the green is on top of that and kind of unifies the panels here.
What you see as blue is actually the base color of the entire unit.
Oh, wow.
So that's how we cheated a little bit because at first we were starting with all white, a white base coat, and then plop, 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 plop. But I was like, you know what? If we do this right, I think we can fake this through, cut the cost down, and get exactly what we want. Because the base coat's free, right? Because you have to do it anyway.
Exactly.
There's still so many operations you can see because you're talking about each of these slices is at least one because you have the two colors there, and then all the information like this is got to be not separate. This is one additional or at least multiple, right?
Yeah, I think it might be at least two, maybe three.
Right.
Wow.
So all the text, all the things that kind of unify, like the bridge, the gap, those are separate operations.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm tired just thinking about it. And this is like, the other part I love about this is that this is the paint job that you're mostly not noticing. Right? It is communicating some scale and the reflection parameters of these ships as they move through space, but you're not registering, oh, it's an Aztec-y paint job.
Yeah, yeah. And even the text on the side where it says USS Enterprise, like that's, if I'm building this model, that's a slow, painstaking water slide that you're putting on there. But they get that and it reads perfectly. Dude. And then, your interior.
The interior being visible is crazy.
Got the Arboretum.
The Arboretum is making me so happy.
I know, it's really cool.
I just want to live in there.
Yeah, we still have an opening hangar bay like we did in the last one. So inside there as well. And this is, again, like the first one's removable.
I'd love to see the engines light up. Can we see the engines light up? Because this was...
So right now...
You guys were troubleshooting last time you were here.
Yeah, we had some problems with some hot spots, but we have worked that out. So right now this is in warp ready mode. And this is warp mode. So as you can see, these are light up.
Kind of fades in that glow.
Lovely.
I mean, to my eye, it's one continuous blue.
Yeah.
God, the navigation lights are so great. And also the Aztecing on the cell stalks.
The entire ship is Aztecing.
Wow.
And it's, from the top to the bottom, every angle, every side is all iridescent paint.
I'm so sorry.
But thank you.
And thank you.
I'm so glad that it's actually going in production very, very soon because then I never have to look at it again.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
You have dreams of ships fighting in your house.
Oh my God. It's been a labor of love, let me tell you, but I wouldn't have traded it for the world.
It's so beautiful.
It's one of those things where this, and maybe you may or may not disagree, this might be the most complex painted die-cast replica I've ever seen in my life. And I've been doing this for nearly 30 years.
When I'm thinking about the number of operations, I think you're definitely up there. These paint jobs are diabolically hard to get right and so easy to get wrong.
Right. I mean, the best part, like I said, we sold these, pre-sold them for $700 a pop. And so, that's money well spent in my mind.
You have the license for Star Trek, all of Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
So, there are obviously different eras, TOS era, the film era, next generation era, because you guys had potentially the Enterprise D. Every one of those is going to have different challenges, both in construction and finish. Does doing this now help whatever next movie era, refit era ship that you do?
Sure. Every time we do one, we learn something new every time. And my goal is, one, to blow your minds, but two, also add something to the next one and the next one and the next one that we haven't done before, just to keep raising that bar.
Plussing.
I mean, why not, right?
I'm also curious if you're learning things about the fandoms, like as you go. You have now original series and motion picture. I'm curious as you go and release models, if you will notice small personality differences between the Star Trek fandoms.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Some people think the next ship should be Voyager, which I don't disagree.
A lot of Voyager fans.
Some people think it should be the Reliant. I want that, and I don't disagree. Some people want the Enterprise D, and I don't disagree. Because
you're ready to release everything.
Yeah, because they're all really, really cool. And like I said, I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan on the planet. I love sci-fi in general, but again, I want to make these for the Star Trek fans and not for me. Well, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to stay very, very, very connected with the fan base, just to find out what they want and what they don't want.
Well, none of us are getting any younger, and I know there are even people in the groups, the forums, right, who are original series fans who never had the opportunity to have one of these ships or a hand prop or something. They're glad that the original series is still being serviced by companies, because and not just the newer stuff.
Yeah, no, we had at Star Trek Las Vegas. That's a good example. We had fans from every genre of every TV show, movie, spin-off or whatever, and they were all, everybody wants to see what they want to see, and again, I love going to these shows. The fans make it worth it for me. Just talking to them, figuring out what they want, what they like, what they're passionate about. Everybody's got a story, and I think it's amazing.
Well, and the economies of scale from manufacturing as well. I really specifically remember collecting early McFarlane figures and what a revelation those were for their extra painting operations and the levels of detail.
They were insane.
And this feels to me like an absolute natural lineage of the process that was started there, both increasing the expectations of the fandom and also meeting those expectations. This is so beautiful.
Well, now your factory has the confidence that when there's another ship that has this type of pattern,
I don't think it could get harder than this.
Right. Reliant or otherwise.
Don't say anything out loud.
No, I don't think it could get harder than this. I know that if we were to do like the Reliant still has the same Aztec pattern, but it's not iridescent.
Right.
So, again, we've learned so much from the past things that we've done. This one, I can't stress enough, it'll be hard for you to find all the screw hole plugs that we did, because we were very, very, very clever and strategic about it. Because we learned a lot from the first one, what not to do. Same thing for the D7. The D7 is going to have the same thing, where it's going to be hard to find the plug holes.
Is the goal to stay in the scale as long as you can, 350?
Yeah, it's tough to do. When you want to get to like the Enterprise D, you won't be able to do that. So I think the max, and for not just for manufacturing reasons, but also for display reasons. The D would be maybe 36 inches long, but you got to remember that saucer's probably like 34 inches wide. So who's got that? So we're coming up with a couple different ways. I'm thinking about maybe doing like some wall mount type of options.
Oh, very cool.
For example, like the D7s that were on display at Mopop. They actually were mounted on the wall, pointing straight up.
Oh, I love that.
And it was gorgeous. And I was like, we should be able to do that. Now, these are 20-pound items.
But
I figured, if you can put a TV on a wall, you can put, you can
go up that Z-axis.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Absolutely. Hanging, maybe?
Just drill a hole with an eye bolt there. Chris, these are so beautiful. Really, thank you so much for bringing these magnificent toys by for us to oogle.
When are these shipping?
They will be shipping in November.
November, all right.
Crazy.
We'll be waiting with bated breath.
I bet you cannot wait till these go out the door.
I cannot wait. I can't wait to see what people think about them, and hopefully gush over them in the Facebook groups and online and wherever.
I love it. From prototype to something near production, it just gives fans against the confidence that you'll deliver on something pretty cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for watching that video. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you we have some excellent merch. We have a 5-pack of demerit badges for sale right now at tested/store.com. We've got the I hung it off of level demerit badge, the I built the chair backwards demerit badge, the I hit my thumb with a hammer demerit badge. We've got the stapler in my finger demerit badge, and my favorite, I stuck the duct tape to itself demerit badge. Get yours now, tested/store.store. Tested-store. Tested. It's right here. There. Just click there.